Alright everybody, I hope everything's clear right now. Sorry for that. Sometimes it happens, can't really do anything. Again, hopefully I've resolved most of the things. As for this Wi-Fi connection, let me turn it off. Okay, and right now talking about the internet speed, it is quite enough. Okay, coming back to this, even keep in mind that OBS is running in the background. Still I'm getting this much, and that nothing could be better than this. Having said that, now I gotta go back and check the status again. It keeps getting disconnected for some reason. Alrighty, and this is the one that's going on. I think I was able to be live only for 10 to 15 minutes. That's it, and after that I started facing the network issues. Though I've been facing it since the beginning only. That's not really a big problem. But okay, let's get it done quite quick. We have a lot to do and we have little time. We don't really have a lot of time. So here we are, and hopefully right now no network issues, nothing else. Yeah, just it seems to be like that. But let's see how it's gonna be going on. Okay, coming back to this, let me close this as well. And what I was supposed to do, I was simply supposed to be installing that. App name is gonna be my app, no problem. Yeah, recommend. I mean, default ones are gonna be used here. And once it is installed, then I'm gonna be checking what? I'm gonna be checking app page.tsx, and here I'm using image. Inside the image, this is the way I can use it directly or what? Just a minute. Let me go back to my main project. This was the main project and I was using it like this. How about using it like slash handrange.svg? Otherwise I will have to use the main image tag. Why is it getting disconnected over and over for some reason? Never mind, let it be. Hopefully everything's fine on my side. That doesn't really matter. Yeah, so coming back to this. So yeah, we are getting that. The thing is that the way we were handling the things, that way was wrong. We should be saying, if I remove this slash from here, it will not be visible. If I just add this forward slash here, it's again going to be visible. Not only that, I can even make it like this, that instead of using this image, I'm gonna be using the image from the Next.js side. So the image element that I get from the next image, I can even use that, and the result is kind of gonna be the same. So slash handrange.svg, this is how it's gonna be going on, and it does need an alt. So crazy, yeah. Handrange svg. Apart from this particular thing, I need to provide the width is gonna be around 20. I need to provide height, is also gonna be 20. So it looks like that. Let's increase it a bit, 30, and of course I need to increase this as well, so 30 by 30, and that's more than enough. And I can even make it 40 if I'm not wrong. So let's see how it's gonna be looking like. Okay, 40 is okay. We are done with this. So ultimately this is working fine. And the next thing is that let me make it flex so that they are gonna be beside each other. Gap is gonna be around 3, so that should be fine. And let me keep the items center, so items are gonna be center, and that is more than enough. Okay, at least for right now. The same thing is gonna be happening with others as well, so I can just simply copy the whole thing from here, the whole div actually. Is that so? I think so, or maybe I need to copy the whole card from here, and when the whole card is copied, I'm gonna be pasting everything here. So once I pasted everything here, things are gonna be, well, this should be the username. So that is gonna be sort of participant dot username, and let's see how many things we can get done today. Apart from this particular thing, what I want, if the participant length is 0, it should be somewhere in the middle, and if that's not equals to 0, then okay, I can just simply go ahead like this. So what I want, that something like this. Go at the top here. I'm using grid, and it is just simply saying that medium grid 2, large grid 3, and all. So this is how it will be having the grids. So at large it will be having grids like these, and what I want it to have grids conditionally in the sense, if there is only one user, then there should be only one grid. If there are two users, there should be two grids. If there are 3 users, there should be 3 grids. And mainly we are talking about this particular section over here. In medium, at least we have to take care of 3 users, and after that it will be managing itself. So let me do one thing. Const number of grids is gonna be equals to other participants dot length. Oh, length. So this way I'm gonna be getting the length of other participants, and what I have to do, if the length is 0, other participants plus, let me make it 1, because of course I have to include the new participant as well, the current one. So this is gonna be the number of grids, and when it comes to this, so by default it should be 1. So this is fine. Mainly I'm gonna be taking care of this one. So let me cut the whole thing from here. I'm gonna be using a function called cn that is provided by the shared cn itself, and let me paste the whole thing. Again, I need to use this just like this, and large this, only this is the section that I have to worry about. Let's get the things done at large screen first of all. Later I will be just figuring the other ones out as well. So what I want, number of grids, so this is gonna be sort of like this, and number of grids. So at large screen, the number of grids is going to be decided on the basis of the user. So right now it actually looks like this. It actually looks like this in the sense other participants. Do I have other participants over here? No. So am I at large screen? Okay, I'll have to even check the number of CLG, number of grids. Let me just click F12 here, come back to this particular section, and that is equals to 1. The question is, if that's actually equals to 1, so number of columns should be 1. So large number of columns are gonna be 1. Let me make it 1 here as well. Then this works. So ultimately the screen that I'm on, that is the medium screen. Yeah, that's the medium screen. So in that case, let me have it like this as well. Const, and this, paste it here, and what I'll do, number of grids. So it doesn't matter where. Normally and then what is this, grid columns large, I missed. Okay, I just simply cut it from here, right? Okay, got it. So it was like this. Let me have a gap here. So ultimately grid columns once, by default it is gonna be 1 at normally, and then when it comes to larger screen, so it will be decided based on the number of grids. So right now it looks like this. Let me make another user and join the same room, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. So maybe 2 things are gonna be here at the same time, 2 browsers. Let me copy the meeting link, let me paste it here, and right now other user is trying to join. I will be getting this joining option. I'm not getting. Okay, never mind. Let me make sure that if everything's running correctly. Yeah, everything's running correctly. So why am I not getting this option over here? The user is definitely trying to join, and I'm not getting this option here. Let me restart it one more time. Maybe some caching related issue or something. That's not really a big problem. We will try to restart it, and once restarted, we will try to check the things how they work. Both of them are getting reloaded. That's great. And coming back to this particular section, okay, here I'm getting. So ultimately this particular user became the host. Let me allow, and as soon as I allowed, 2 participants are here. Let me just simply collapse this as well. How can I collapse this like this? So ultimately 2 users are gonna be side by side. Again, apart from this particular thing, if I try to add one more, so let me copy it. So number of columns are gonna be increasing. That's crazy. I'll actually have to allow from here. So let's simply click on allow all. So the oh shit, yeah. And in this way, number of columns they'll keep getting increased, and that's gonna be problematic. In that case, what I want, the thing I want is that usually there should be one user, and again I will have to write the condition for that. So number of grids, if that's less than is equal to 3, then that's gonna be equals to number of grids. Otherwise 3. Okay, I think same thing should be happening here as well. This logic is crazy stuff. Okay, how about now? Again number, let me make it 2 so that it looks a bit better. Coming back to this, how does it look like? What do I wanna say here? Number of grids, if that's less than equals to 2, in this case this, otherwise this. Okay, so if that's less than equals to 2, in that case number of grids will be applied. Otherwise, let me make it 2 2 2 2, and now this is more or less fine. I mean, let me close this, and let me have only one user right now, so let me close this as well. Coming back to this particular section, let's simply reload the page, and there is one user, and right now if other user tries to join it, suppose this one, paste it here, this user tries to join the meeting, of course. Okay, am I not gonna allow that? Okay, user disconnection is even not happening well, because whenever the user disconnects, we are not removing the user from the backend side, and that is what causing the issue here. We will fix it just right here. Wait for a while. First of all, I can allow from here, and as soon as allowed, this is how the user gonna be looking like if the third user joins. And again, this is not the best thing actually, or this is, the height should be less. The height is too much right now. Okay, never mind, let the third user join, and as soon as the third user joins, of course I'll have to allow. So let's simply allow. This is how things are gonna be looking like. So ultimately they should have only this much height, half of the height. If two users join, they are gonna be in the middle. They should have fixed height, and that is this much. Okay, so let me do one thing. Over here, this is the card that I have, and this card doesn't seem to have any width, height, right? So class name height is gonna be what? Not class name, just height is gonna be around 40 or something. Let's see how it's gonna be looking like. So it's too less. How about making it 50? 96. 96 is great. So ultimately use height is 96. How about making it a century here? And this is more or less good, because if I make it 0, then that's not gonna be visible at all. Yeah, obviously. So that's gonna be 100, and once this is 100, other ones will have the same height. That simply means this particular card will have the same height as well. So height is gonna be 100, and they are gonna be looking like this. And apart from this particular thing, if there is only one user right now, suppose this user tries to join, so if there is only one user, it will sort of look like this. And as for the rows, how many rows should be there? Then they should have fixed width, height. I mean, this logic, if I keep writing, I will get stuck. I mean, I'll get stuck with the front end section only. How about keeping it like this? When there is only one user, that is fine. That user should contain all the height and width. So in that case, let's forget about even this. If there is only one user, it doesn't really matter. That user will have the screen like this, and as soon as the other user joins, that means as soon as the other participants joins, at that time it will be changing. So again, I will have to have conditionally over here, and conditionally in the sense if the other users joins at that time, I'll have to create the style here. So okay, so suppose other user joined, what I want when the other person joined, I want it to have a side by side, and that too the height should not be that much. That simply means height should be 100, and apart from 100 height they should be in the middle. That simply means I will have to use flexor, and this is how I will have to go ahead. So instead of grid, why don't I use flex over here, because that will do the same job. Yeah, flex is gonna be even flexible, and I think in this types of situation flex is something that's gonna be super helpful. So let me do one thing. Instead of using grid over here, I'm gonna be using flex, and I will use flex lab. That will be just wrapping it on its own, and flex is gonna be something that I want. So let me remove it all. Instead of worrying about the number of grids here, I'm gonna be keeping it pretty simple. Flex, and that's gonna be flex wrap. Apart from this particular thing, items are gonna be in the center, and justify are gonna be in the center. Height, forget about the height, they will have the height and width, so I'm gonna be giving them. And how does it look like? This looks like this. That's great. Apart from this particular thing, what I'll say, if over here, of course I will need the number of participants here, and other participants length. So let me remove this as well. Coming back to this particular section, first of all, when it comes to this particular card, right, this is the one, so let me cut it all. Okay, and that is why I don't, it's not like we cannot build that, but the front end takes a lot of time figuring the things out, and that's insane. But okay, never mind. First of all, let me cut it here. From here I'm gonna be using cn here. Again, that is just a function that is used for combining the style together. Again, what I want over here, the next thing is that on the basis of the number of grids, first of all, this is the top one. So if other participants dot length length, if that triple equals to 0, in that case what I have to do, in that case if I have to check if that's greater than 0, in that case there should be some style. What should that style be? Height is gonna be 100, and width should be sort of 100. Let's see how it looks like. Right now it should not be like that. I think other participants, they are there or not. If they are greater than 0, other participants length, if that is greater than 0, then only I will have it. Nope, if that is less, yeah, that's okay. Let it be like this. So if that is greater than 0, then it will have this much height and width. Otherwise, in the remaining case, height screen, height full, width full. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be looking like. So normally when there is no participant, it will look like this, and when there is a participant, this is crazy stuff that I'm doing. I should not be, I mean, wasting whatever you call. I should not be busy just simply fixing the UI, and that is why it's better to take the help of AI for the just UI purpose, because at the end of the day it takes a lot of time, right? So coming back to this particular section, what is the problem? Am I facing, is it hanging? Okay, coming back to this, let me paste it here. Of course I have to allow, not even getting that option. Again, one functionality I haven't implemented, and that is once the user leaves, removing the user from the backend side, because of that thing I'm having to face a lot of issues here. But okay, just after this UI thing I will fix it. Let me allow. As soon as I allowed, then what happened? Things went like this. That is okay, because as soon as the other user joins, you should be somewhere in the middle, but the other user's height and width, they are not the right ones. So coming back to this one, I will have the same design here. I mean, same stuff. Copy it all, and not like this. I didn't want to cut that. Come back to bro, let that be here. Class name card, copy it, and once it is copied, let me come here and paste everything here. How about this right now? And they look sort of when two users are there. Let me increase the height as well as the width. Okay, so it was 100 by 100 initially. Let me make it 200 by 200, and God knows what will happen now. And same is gonna be happening here. It was 100 by 100, so let me make it 200 by 200, and let's see. So this is how it's gonna be looking like. Okay, this is not bad. I mean, this is worse. Forget about the bad. Let me control D 150, and this is how it looks like right now. And look, let's not worry about the design much, because if I keep focusing on that, it will take a lot of time. Let's simply focus on the functionality part, and overall this is fine. I'm okay with this. So this is how it looks like. Oi, flex wrap, I didn't fix the width height of it. That's crazy, yeah. I will have to fix the height of what? I will have to fix the height of this top level div, and it doesn't have any fixed height right now. So how about keeping it overflow to auto? And that is okay. I mean, overflow directly works. Why does it directly work? Because okay, these grids, they are not required here anymore, so gap is okay. Let me remove this grid. Will not have any effect as expected. So this is the top level div, flex 1, a padding, and then this flex wrap, item center, justify, overflow auto. Overflow auto does the job, like whatever I want it to do. So ultimately there are participants like this, they are gonna be on top of each other. And again, the UI can be actually great, but the main focus is not on that, because if I keep focusing on that, I'll keep working with the UI section only, and remaining things are gonna be left behind. Coming back to this, I'm gonna be keeping it 120. I'm gonna be making the height less, just like this, and the width should be that much only. Same thing is gonna be here. Height should be like this, and the width should be this much. And this is not quite bad. Let me make it 100. Let me make it 100 too. And once I've done this much, once there is one user, then okay, no problem as such. When there is one user, the user is gonna be looking like this, and once there are two users are gonna be looking like this. Okay, for now this is more than enough. Okay, what is the next thing that we have to do? The next thing is that whenever the user disconnects, we have to fix that particular part, because right now whenever the user leaves, nothing is happening. Okay, great. So when the user leaves, what happens? When the user leaves, that means WebSocket connection gets disconnected. That simply means, coming back to this, let me collapse everything. So whenever the user is going to leave, so the WebSocket connection from the signaling server will be disconnected. Disconnected in the sense, if I go to lib signaling.ts, whenever the user leaves, when the server dies, at that time this particular event should trigger. What I think this should trigger ideally. And when the front end not dies, ultimately user leaves, ultimately an event should be triggered on the backend side. So if I go to the backend side right now, so ws server source server.ts, and over here I'm listening for this on close event. So whenever the user leaves the meeting, at that time this should get triggered. And the another thing is that even if it is getting triggered, how will I find the user? Because when I was working with socket.io, at that time we were getting socket connection ID, socket ID. So okay, so that was getting the job done. Using that socket ID, we were finding the users. In this pure WebSocket connection, what is happening? We do not get any connection ID, so we will have to somehow handle this stuff. But let's see, whenever the user leaves, whether this gets disconnected or not. Okay, so coming back to this, local host 3000/meeting/ let me name it 1234. That's the meeting link. This is where the user is, and hopefully again nothing. Hopefully, is it still running? Yeah, it is running. And now I need to start server and backend separately, so that I can stop them separately. Is there any way to just stop the backend or front end? Event task to connect server has been called. Okay, interact. What will I do by interacting with this? Oh, I can just simply add more things. That's crazy. Ah, event. I don't want to control Z to stop it. UD page locks. Capital U, capital D. Never mind. And then TB to jump top dump. Okay. Control T. Can't I do that? Okay. So I think I will have to start them separately. Mainly because I want to stop one of them. Because if they are running using the same command, so I cannot stop them. I cannot stop one of them. So cd, now I need to go to apps, ls, cd, web. This will be responsible for running web app, ls, cd, apps, ls, cd, WebSocket server. This will be responsible for running WebSocket server. What do I need to do? Bun. Am I using bun? Hopefully. I don't even know the uh, what. Yeah, bun is being used over here. That simply means if I do bun run dev, or bun dev should be enough. Server should be running, and turns out yeah, it is running. If I say bun dev over here, front end should be running, it is running. What can I do right now? I am gonna be going here, checking the front end thing out, slash meetings, slash 1234. So meeting, the spelling is wrong. Meeting, just like this. So ultimately I'm on the front end. What happened when I'm on the front end? Let's inspect this. So ultimately panel clicked. Oh, I'm logging the values. Where am I logging these values? There is no. Okay, I'm logging these values inside which file? Well, this is not the right file. Somewhere or the other I'm logging the values, and most probably I'm logging it in the main file. So how can I just track this? Where am I logging these values? I'm definitely logging it on the front end side, and on the front end side on the main meeting page. So app meeting id page.tsx over here. Yeah, here I'm logging. So let me remove these logs from here, because things are working fine. So if I reload it right now, so this is okay. Again, this WebSocket, where am I logging it? Socket manager.ts. Socket manager.ts. That is definitely on the front end side inside label socket manager, and I don't need to log it here. So let me get rid of this as well. Cut, Control X. So this thing is done too. What is the next thing? Let's simply close everything. Come back to this particular section. That's fine right now. And what is the next thing? Whenever the socket gets connected, I have to just simply show a message. Socket connection in the sense signaling, and whenever on open, on error, on close. So on open I have to say, right? I have these things. So CLG WebSocket or WS connection established successfully. And whenever the WebSocket connection establishes successfully, at that time I have to send a join request as well. So that's what we are doing here. Okay, that's great. So this particular this is what? This is a log that will be triggered on the front end side. And similarly, I need to go to the backend side as well, because I have to track it, right? So on the backend side, I have WS on message, on error, on close. What else? I have on connection, and whenever the connection gets established, at the time I have to say something. What do I have to say? CLG WebSocket connection established successfully. So ultimately, this way I will be able to know whether the connection has been established successfully. And the next thing, whenever the user leaves, at that time, if I stop my front end or the user leaves, at that time this should be triggered. WebSocket connection has been closed. And on the other hand, coming back to this front end side, whenever the server dies, at that time WebSocket connection closed, this should be triggered. Okay, that's great. Let me check that. So for checking that, I'll actually have to restart them again. So not a problem. Let me do that. Let me run it. Same here as well. One dev. Both of them are running right now. WebSocket connection is listening on port this, and even front end is started, but connection hasn't been established. So let me reload this page once. Once this page is reloaded, WebSocket connection established successfully. Event asked to connect, that's great. And that simply means here on the front end side WebSocket connection established successfully, and I got an event called connect host, that's great. So this much is working fine. And now if I close this, what happened? WebSocket connection has been closed, that's great, it is working. How about coming back to this Control Shift T, and right now WebSocket connection has been established, and I'm gonna be getting the log here as well. And what I want to do, I want to stop the server, so let me stop the server. Coming back to this WebSocket connection closed. So ultimately, yeah, they are getting triggered, but what is the next thing? Interesting thing, and that is whenever the client leaves, at that time what I have to do, whenever the client leaves, at that time on the server side this particular event gets triggered. And when this event gets triggered, so what am I getting? CLG event is gonna be, this is kind of the disconnect event. Disconnect. Okay, but what I have to do here, what are the to do's? First of all, find the user who left. After that, remove the user from the server. Then inform others about the user who left. I mean, these are the things that we have to do. The bigger question is, how will you find the user who left? Because in socket.io it was easy. You had the ID. Using that ID, you could find the user. And in here, you have what? You have your request. The request has the ID. So most probably CLG ID is going to be equals to request, again not request, just not request. So whenever that user leaves, so I have my connection ID, right? So because I am sending the ID from, in the request as params, so I will be able to use this. And again, how do we get that? Let me even show you it in action. I can use the same, or connection ID, connection ID, that's gonna be new. There is a class called URL search params that takes the query parameters, and in that case I don't have query parameters. So first of all I have URL, so because of that thing I will have to first of all split the URL using the question mark, and then I will have to give it the first index, because after question mark you have what? You have your query parameters. So ultimately I'm giving it the query parameters, and it will be giving me the connection ID. But having said that, I already have my connection ID here globally available. That simply means I should be able to use this connection ID, and if it is actually possible, then the problem is solved, because using the connection ID we can find the user. But the question is, will it work? Hopefully, yeah, it should. Let me run it again, and I will reload. The page is reloaded. User established, user connected. Let me disconnect the user. Disconnecting the user in the sense, let's reload the page one more time. So what happened? Previous user got disconnected, event disconnect, ID is this. Amazing job, this is working. So what can we do? Now the things are pretty simple. I already have my connection ID. Once I have my connection ID, what will I do? Find the user who left. Finding the user who left. Okay, once I found the user, then what? Removing the user from the meeting. That's the remove the user from the server, not by meeting. So removing the user from the meeting. So how will I find the user? I have the connection ID. And when it comes to the meeting, so meeting, आए किधर गए हो? Meeting, huh? Isn't this crazy? I can't see my meeting here. Okay, here it is. Connections. The connections contain the connections. Meeting. There is no meeting. I'm not importing the meeting yet, or what? Okay, I have the meeting inside the store. So where is the store? this is the storage state, and over here I have the meetings. And when it comes to this particular meeting, so this meeting contains the host and this meeting contains the participant. Once the user leaves, at that time what is gonna be the probability that the user who actually left, that is the host itself. So I will have to handle this case as well if the host leaves. Otherwise, if the participant leaves, then of course I don't really need to worry about it. So first of all, the main thing is finding the person who left. Okay. And when it comes to these connections contain the WebSocket connection and this only, so this will not be helpful. That means I will have to find it from here only, and I already have the connection ID. So the next thing is that I will check whether the host list or not. So let me get it done. Coming back to this, first of all I need meetings here. So const, I need to find the right meeting. Problematic. Why? Because I just have the connection ID. Okay. Using this connection ID, what? I have to first of all find the meeting, right? Which meeting this particular user belongs to. Inside the meeting, what I have? Inside the meeting, I have host. I have other participants. I hope this is the one. So inside the meeting, I have, sorry, not host, host and participants. Coming back to this section, so I have host and participants. Having said that, himself is the part of the participants, that is right. So now what will I have to do? I will have to loop through all the meetings, and once I've looped through them, then I will be able to find a meeting that is actually the same one. That simply means, first of all, I will have to find the meeting, and const meeting is gonna be equals to loop through all the meetings. So object dot keys, I can even make it simpler in the sense I can just get the keys or the values or the entries in the sense they will contain both. So what do I have to do? That is an object, right? And in the object we can loop through the object using the key, that is right. So for of, I think this will be okay. Yeah, this is mainly for the object. So what I want, what am I doing? Let me make it like this. Let me get rid of this. This much is fine. And when it comes to the object, so the object is gonna be meetings. Do I have it? No, I will have to import it. So let me import it. What is the problem? Meetings must have a symbol iterator. This meeting is an object, so it will be getting the elements. So ultimately it will be getting the meeting. Can't I? Meetings must have a symbol iterator, method returns iterator. That means it's not gonna be working. For of, it's not gonna be working directly, so that's not really a big problem. Let me make it like this. And what I'll do, const element is of this particular object. Inside this particular object I'll have a, that's gonna be equals to 1. I will have b, that's gonna be equals to 2. And over here what will I do? Inside this I will console.log. What will I console.log? I will log a. Again same thing, is not iterable. Okay, so is there any intermediate value is not iterable, so I cannot get it. Okay, there is a problem by the way here. No problem as such. Okay, so the another way is that first of all let me see how to iterate through an object. This is the question. How to iterate over a JavaScript object. Suppose this is the JavaScript object, so we can iterate over it using the this array, first part, second part, last part. So for let key in particular object, so that is this way, you can just simply iterate through that. You will be getting the key if you want, or you can get the key and value both. from the object dot. This way I already know. Using object dot entries, you will get a what? You will get an array, and using that particular array, you can just simply iterate through it. So this is okay. I mainly wanted to just use this particular method here. So let me try it. So for const in meetings, that should be fine. Yeah, that's great. And once I'm inside meeting, then I'm gonna be what? I'll have to even check what I get here. Coming back to this, the previous code, that's gonna be exactly the same. Let me run it. So I'm getting A and I'm getting B. That simply means I'm gonna be getting the keys. Okay, once I get the keys, so ultimately what will I get? I will get the meeting ID. Once I get the meeting ID, then what will I do? Once I get the meeting ID, I will be able to find the meeting, and once I'm able to find the meeting, I will have to check. So const meeting is gonna be equals to meetings and meeting ID. So once I got the meeting, what I have to check? Once I got the meeting, then meeting will have participants. So what do I have to do? Const left user. Okay, the user who left, user left. Okay, left user. That's gonna be what? That's gonna be meeting dot participant dot. Now I have the list of all the participants. So what will I be doing? After that I have to filter. What do I have to filter? I have to filter participant based on what? Participant. I have to filter the participant based on based on its connection ID. It will definitely have the connection ID. It will not have the connection ID, it will have the ID. So ID, when that's triple equals to connection ID. So this way I will get the user who actually left. Is this okay? So what am I doing? See, pretty simple thing. I'm looping through the meeting, then I'm getting the meeting ID. And once I'm getting the meeting ID, using the meeting ID, I'm getting the meeting. Once I got the meeting, meeting participant, and I got the list of all the participant. After that, what I did? After that, I just filtered the value. So if participant ID, that's triple equals to connection ID. Where am I getting the connection ID from? That's already here. So I'm getting it in the request initially. So once I got the connection ID, what is the next thing? Once I got a participant whose connection ID is this, in that case I will get the left user. And once I got the left user, first of all, let's break this loop. Why? Because there could be possibility that there are many users, then that's gonna be problematic, right? So once I've done this much, so I'm gonna be having here const not const left letter left user, just like this. And this way, and whenever, as soon as I got this, I'm gonna be filtering, and if I have the value of left user, in that case I'm gonna be breaking the loop. Is that okay? I have the left user. Once I got the left user, then okay, break the loop. That is okay. So once this much is done, what is the next thing? I got the user who left. Yeah. Now what I have to check? I have to check one thing. If const is host is gonna be left user dot is host. So left user dot is host. Again, what is the type of the left user? The type of the left user is nothing but the participant. So ultimately this is how it's gonna be going on. What is the problem? This question mark is the problem. Again, not really. It is just simply saying that left user is left user is being used being assigned. So okay, let me do one thing. If I have the value of left user, and only in that case I will just simply go ahead. Again, I can't even do that. Left user is used before being assigned. That simply means I will have to use it here itself, and that is okay. I will break, definitely I have to break the loop at the end, but over here I can just simply go ahead with the logic, and even that is not a problem. Then what is the problem here? Filter. Oh, I'm not sorry, I have to find, instead of filtering it, find it. Now participant or undefined is not assignable to participant. So it is just simply saying that if the value of it could be undefined, then what will you do? In that case, this can be either participants or it can be null, just like this. So, or undefined, sorry, let's keep it undefined. So now this should be fine. But instead of doing it like this, I can just simply go ahead with the things directly. Going ahead with the things directly, can I use the left user here? CLG left user. Yeah, I can. So ultimately I was using filter over here, and because of that thing I was facing the issue. So let me make it like this. And when it comes to this left user, so if I have the value of the left user, in that case this particular section is gonna run, and of course I will break it from here. So if I have the value of left user, I'm gonna be breaking it from here. So ultimately loop is gonna break from here. Once the loop breaks, after that the value is definitely gonna be assigned to this particular left user, and then I can go ahead with the logic. I could have written the same thing inside this only, but this for loop will be too big at the end of the day, and that is why I just want to make it separate, as simple as that. Okay, I have the left user. Then if I don't have the left user, if not left user, in that case let's do one thing, let's simply return from here. And I think this will be running line by line. Most of the time it happens, so that's okay. And otherwise, if I have the left user, then what will I do? If I have the left user, in that case const is host is gonna be left user dot is host, something like this. So I got the value of the is host. If the user who actually left, that is host, then I will be handling it differently. If that is not the host, then I will be handling it differently. So there are gonna be two situations. Left user dot is host, let me directly cut it and paste it over here. That's gonna be simply fine. Okay, if that is a host, then what do I have to do? If the user who actually left, that is the host, then first of all I have to remove the user. So meeting I already have, so meeting dot host, first of all remove that particular user. So ultimately that user needs to be removed from the participant section. Definitely this needs to happen. So the user who actually left, suppose that is not the host, in that case what? In that case I have to just simply remove the user from the participant. So I already have the connection ID, so participant, I got the left user. Once I got the left user, I have to remove it from the participant. That means simply I have to filter the value over here. So at that time, meeting dot participants, so dot filter, not really, this should be meeting dot what, meeting, this is not what I need right here. I have the meeting here, in the same meeting I will need. Okay, so this way is not gonna be right, because the meeting itself is available here. So I will have to save it at on the global variable. So instead of doing this, let's simply continue from here. So what will I be doing? I got the left user, let me remove it even, this thing from here. Let me keep everything inside this. So const, so I have the left user, I have the meeting, and after that what will I do? Once I have the meeting and the left user, after that if left user is host, if that is the host, then I will be doing something, and if that is not the host, then I will be doing something. So these are the things that are gonna be happening, and at the end of the day I have to just simply break it. So this is how it's gonna be going on. Breaking in the sense, if that actually matched, and if I break it directly, then again that's gonna be problematic. So what do I have to do? I have to break it when I have the value of the left user. So if there is a left user, in that case I'm gonna be breaking it. So this is how it's gonna be happening. Again, coming back to this particular section, if that is a normal participant, so what do I have to do? From the meetings that I already have over here, I have to remove that particular participant, ultimately user. So how can I remove the user? For that thing I need the ID. because that is the array, so I can remove using the id. So I can call something like meeting dot participant dot splice, and again I need the index over here, and index, okay, and I need to remove the one participant from here. But how will I get the index? For getting the index, instead of finding the user directly, let's find the index of the user, then you will be able to get the user as well. That's okay, fine, that will do the job. So first thing is this, that you actually just simply splice that, ultimately remove that. Splice removes it from the main di, I mean main array itself, so ultimately the user is going to be removed. So instead of finding it like this, I'm gonna be finding the index. Once I found the index, left user index is gonna be here. Once I have the left user index, const left user. One more thing, if left user index that's triple equals to -1, in that case just simply return from here. Otherwise const left user, and that's gonna be meeting dot participant dot left user index, just like this. So I got the left user. Once I got the left user, then once I have the left user, what I have to do, left user index. So ultimately that particular user will be removed. What is the problem over here? The problem is that participants dot splice undefined is not assignable to type number. So ultimately undefined is not assignable, undefined cannot be used at any. So ultimately this left user that I have, this can be actually undefined. So meeting, okay, so meeting participant, why can't I use it directly? Meeting is possibly undefined. Oh, crazy job, yeah. So let me do one thing, I will find the meeting, and if not meeting, simply return from here. Similarly after that I will find the left user. Right now it should be definitely number, yeah, that is a number. So once that is a number, then it should not be problematic here anymore. So I found the left user index, then I found the left user, and let me keep it like this. And after that I found the real user who actually left, and after that I'm just simply removing that particular user. Okay, this is done. But in case that user is a host, then I will have to just go with some other ways. What are those ways? If that is a host, so first of all I already have the meeting, so definitely I need to remove the user from the meeting as well. So this is something that will be happening almost every time, right? So I definitely need to remove the user. So what I did, the user who actually left, I removed the user from the array. What is the next thing? The user who left. If that is the host, because left user I already have here, so the user who actually left, if that is the host, in that case I will be getting a random participant from the meeting. So const new host is gonna be equals to what, meeting dot participants, and at the 0th index, whichever user is at the 0th index, I will be selecting that as a participant. And once that has been selected as a participant, after that what, after that I have that particular participant over here. If I change the value of this new host, so new host is gonna be actually true over here. And apart from this particular thing, I'm gonna be setting it to the host as well. So meeting dot host, and that's gonna be equals to new host. So this is how it's gonna be going ahead. The problem is that left hand assignment may not be optional property. Yeah, that's right. So let me remove it. But there is a problem, it is possibly undefined. So if not new host, in that case simply return from here. Return from here in the sense, look, what am I doing? First of all, I got the meeting. Once I got the meeting, I got the left user, I mean user index who actually left. Once I got the index, I got the user who left. Once I have the user who left, then I just simply removed the user from the participant. So ultimately the user got removed from the participant itself. Okay, once the user got removed, then I have to find another user. So I just found the new user, I mean new host, who was at the 0th index. So ultimately a random user. Once I found that particular user, then I'm checking whether the value actually exists or not. It does not exist. If there are no users, that it's gonna be undefined, and I will be returning from here. Otherwise, new host dot is host, if that actually exists, in that case I'm gonna be setting the value to true. Apart from this particular thing, meeting host is gonna be that particular new host. So something like this. And once this much is done, and lastly I will be checking the value of left user. If that does exist, in that case I will be returning from here. And I got the meeting, that is great. Once I got the meeting, I got the left user index. If the value is minus triple equals to -1, then of course I'm returning. So if that is not the right user, it will be returned from here itself. If that is the right user, the loop will break over here. So this is how it's gonna be happening. Again, if that's not the right user, do I have to return from here or do I have to continue? A return will break the loop, won't it? Let me check what does return do. I think it will break the loop. For let I is gonna be equals to 0, I should be less than equals to 5, I plus plus, just like this. And if I is triple equals to 3, in that case simply return from here. And just like this, let's see what's illegal return statement, so return cannot really be used directly over there. Okay, continue, this is fine. Break, this is also fine, but if I'm actually using a return inside a for loop, that itself is not right. So wherever I'm using a return, so what I have to do over here, if a meeting does not exist, then what do I have to do? If there is no meeting as such, then simply break the loop, no need to do anything. Similarly, if left user index, I got the left user index, if that's actually triple equals to -1, that means there is no user as such. Is that so? Then I have to continue actually. Why? First of all, if there is no meeting, I'm looping through all the meetings and I'm getting the meeting ID. Once I got the meeting ID, I got the meeting, I will definitely get the meeting. And if it's simple, yeah. From the meetings I'm getting the meeting ID, right? And once I got the meeting ID, so meeting is definitely gonna exist there. So meetings dot meeting ID. In case if meeting does not exist for some reason, what will I do? I'm gonna continue. Break or continue. Break in the sense it will be broken here itself. Continue in the sense it will be going to the next one. Okay, let's continue from here. I mean, that is not really a big problem. And then if I will check the user, whether that the user is in that particular meeting. If the user is there, that's great. Otherwise, if the user is not there, if that's equals to -1, continue. Coming back to this particular thing, if once I found the left user, then I'm just simply removing that. If that does exist, otherwise of course I will continue from here itself. And lastly, if I have the user and everything got done, then at the end of the day I will be breaking the loop. That simply means I got the user, I removed the user. Let's simply break the loop. Okay, is this enough? Not really, because once I actually removed the user, I have to notify others. So this much is already done. We have found the user, we have removed the user from the meeting. Now inform others about the user who left. What are those other users? Others in the sense everybody except the user itself. But that user already left, so we don't really need to worry about that. Other needs to be informed. That simply means the participants that I have, meeting.participants, I have to inform all of them. So that simply means inform others about the user, about the left user, just like this. Or left participant, let's name it participant. I'm gonna be going with this name, so why not? So wherever I have this particular left user, left participant, let's go with the same naming convention, left participant. And left participant index, and the left participant index, just like this, same over here. And apart from this particular thing, as far as this left user is concerned, control DD left participant, just like this I will be going ahead. And now I have to inform other participants. So I already have the meeting here, don't I have that? I have that. So once I have the meeting, So meeting dot participants dot for each, I will be looping through them. I will get the participant. Once I got the participant, then what do I have to do? I have to inform them. Informing them in the sense, I have to send them the user who left. So const, first of all, I need to have the WebSocket. Yeah, that's right. How will I get it? I already have connections. Yeah, I have that. Participant I already have. Participant. Using the participant ID, I will be able to get the WebSocket connection. Then get the message ready. Message is gonna be what? Message is gonna be, it will contain label. Label will be labels dot normal. Is this gonna be normal? Yeah, normal server process. And then I will have data. What will that data contain? Data will have the type. Kind of type is just nothing but the event. So type, and then types, this is just the constants that I have created, but I'll have to import it from the constants dot ask, connect, deny, grant, inform, request. I will have to create a new type, and that's gonna be inform others about the left user, left participant. So over here, let's simply create another type or event, inform others about left participant. Just like this should be fine. And I'll just simply copy it from here, and I'll paste it over here as well. So inform others about the left participant. Okay, this much I've done. I hope I'm not facing the network issues and all. Am I facing that? Nope. Oh, thankfully it is great. Yeah, it's working quite well. Okay, coming back to this. Now I have to inform others. So I got the WebSocket connection of the participant, and now the type is gonna be inform others about left participant. And then the payload. Payload is gonna be what? Payload is gonna be nothing but the left user who actually left. So left participant. So I will be just simply sending the left participant, whoever participant actually left. And at the end, what I'll do? WebSocket dot send, and I will have to stringify the data. So stringify and message. So ultimately, what will happen? This particular message will be sent to this particular WebSocket, and one by one I will be getting all the WebSocket connections of all the participants. So one by one I will be getting the WebSocket connections of all the participants, and all the remaining participants will get this particular message, and this is how it's gonna be going on. So here we've done it, and lastly, if we actually have the left participant, we'll break the loop over here, because we have found the participant once. That participant is no doubt never gonna be repeated. So this is how it's gonna be happening. So what we've been doing here, let me close it all. First of all, disconnect, event is disconnect, close, call it anything. Here loop, I'm looping through the meeting first of all, because there are many meetings, and those meetings are what? Those meetings contains two things. Oh, just a sec. Those meetings, oh, this is wrong. Yeah, why is this wrong? No, this is not wrong. So ultimately, those meetings contain the string and the value. Ultimately, key and value. The key is nothing but the meeting ID, and it contains the main meeting object. So ultimately, when I loop through that, so I will be getting the meeting ID. As simple as that. So once I get the meeting ID, ultimately call it key, call it meeting ID, doesn't really matter. Ultimately, you actually get the key, and that key is nothing but the meeting ID. So once I get the meeting ID, so I got my meeting. Then checking the meeting. So get the meeting. Once you got the meeting, get the index. Okay, index of the left participant, just like this. After that, get the left participant. Now whether this get is, it should be find, and get is enough. Okay, fine. Okay, next, remove the left participant from participants array. So over here it is removed. Once it is actually removed, after that I'm actually checking. So the participant who actually left, because once I removed, that's great, but after that the participant who actually left, whether that was the host or not, because if that was the host, in that case I have to just select host handle host left, So if that is actually the host, in that case I'm gonna be finding a new participant. If I found a new host, I mean new, if there is anybody else in the meeting, in that case I will be making that particular person a host. And once that particular person becomes the host, then new host is gonna be is host. So ultimately that particular person will become is host, and I'm gonna be assigning the value to this. Not only that, I will have to trigger an event from here. And what is that event going to be? That event is going to be trigger host, uh, send connect host connect host event. Why? Because if a new user became the host, right, so at that time I have to notify the new user that you have become the host. And what will this do? It will change the UI state. It will change the state of the new host, because for the new host is still a normal participant. So once that particular host became the host, then I have to send an event, and that event, when that particular participant receives, at that time I will be changing the UI state. UI state in the sense, right now the is host value is false. Then as soon as this event is sent, that is host value will become to true. As simple as that. So this is what we have to do. But apart from this particular thing, once the user left, that's great. After that I'm actually informing everybody that this particular user is left. So what am I doing? Meeting participants, I'm looping through the participants, because I have all the remaining participants over here. I looped through them, got the WebSocket connection, got the message, created the message, sent the message. That's it, nothing else. Okay, this is the thing that's remaining. Let me get it done as well. And over here it's gonna be pretty simple. First of all, I already have the new host, so let me get the WebSocket connection. So WS is gonna be connections from, not connection ID actually, connections. From the connections, what will I get? From the connections, I already have the new host over here, dot ID. So using the ID, I will get again, what is this connection? This connection is nothing but what, an object containing key value pairs. Key is nothing but the ID, and WebSocket, I mean you already know that is the value. So once I got that, after that I need the message. So const message, and again this kind of message I have already created when the user actually joined for the first time. So when the user actually joined for the first time, handle normal server process, handle ask to connect, and if that was the host, if meeting is host, then this is the data that I sent, and that's gonna be I'm gonna be using that again. Control C, close this, come back here, and over here I have to just simply paste it. What am I doing? I will explain it. So first of all, I'm getting the WebSocket connection of the host, because that person has become the host, so I have to inform that person that you have become the host and all. And then created the message. Inside the message, normal process connect host is the event, and it's gonna be new host over here, new participant. Let me send it host only. Host is gonna be the participant, so host is gonna be what? Host is gonna be equals to new host, just like this. And if I made it here, then I will have to change it there only. So changing it there in the sense, whenever I'm getting the message, I'll have to change a few things now, because I have named it differently. Ask to connect, and whenever I'm informing the host about himself at that time, instead of sending the new participants, I will say payload will contain the host, and that host is gonna be equals to new participant, like this. That simply means on the front end side, now I have to get the host in the payload. Okay, we will be getting it done. And the same thing we are doing here. Handle host left, and once the host leaves, so then at the end of the day, inform the new host about himself. I mean, okay, that's great. So host is gonna be this, and then notify the host about himself. This is how it's gonna be going on. So WebSocket, whose WebSocket is this? This is the WebSocket of the new host, and then I'm just simply sending this message. So yeah, this is gonna be working fine. Once I have informed this, then I still need to inform others in the sense including the host itself, that okay, this particular user left. So at that time I'm gonna be informing others too. So overall the logic is written, and hope it's gonna be working fine. But now what is the next thing? This connection happened successfully. Ultimately, whenever the user disconnects, I am removing the user. Now I have to go to the front end side. Front end side, on the front end side, what do I have to do? On the front end side, I will be getting the message. That's gonna be normal process. Inside the normal process, handle connect user, connect host. First of all, I have to handle this. And when I'm actually handling this connect host, at that time, I'm just simply setting the host, right? But the problem is that right now I'm not going to get the new participant. Rather, I'm going to get the host. So, and this host I'm gonna be pasting it here because I have changed the value inside the payload on the backend side. So that simply means I will be getting the host over here, and that is why I have done that. And apart from this thing, what else am I supposed to be doing? I have to handle one event. Okay, what is that event? That event is I have handle connect host, I have handle request to join meeting, handle inform others about a new participant, handle inform new participant about others, handle deny joining user, and there's gonna be one more, and that is case types dot inform others about left participant, right? Just this one, and the function is gonna be handle inform others about left participant, just like this. Again, this is gonna be a function. It will take nothing but data dot payload, but again I haven't created that yet, so I will have to create it. Coming back to this, where do I have to create this? I have to create it inside helpers, and that helper is gonna be normal server process. I have handle connect, I have handle request, I have handle inform others, handle new user, handle deny user, and then one more, and that's gonna be export function handle what? Handle inform others about the left user. What will I get here? I will be getting the payload. What will be there in the payload? I don't know. So let's simply keep the payload here and make the type any. I will go to the backend and I will check exactly what I'm sending. So this much I've done. Let's go to the backend. By the way, I need to import it here. So let's simply import it. This much is done. How is this getting imported? This is getting imported like this. This is fine. So I'm still handling the normal processes. I haven't even touched the WebRTC section. Soon I will be even touching that. Today I think we will definitely get that done as well. But first of all, handling this connection should be done, right? So what should happen now? Now on the backend side I have to go server, and when I'm actually informing others, message, not this particular section. Let's close this. Coming back to this. Let's close everything here. Everything's confusing. Same over here. Let's go to the app WS server, and inside helpers I'm handling the normal server process. Is that so? Not really, because I'm handling that inside server. That is the disconnection. So inside server I have this close, and inside that what am I doing? I'm informing others about the left participant. And what am I doing inside this? Inside this I am sending the left participant. So inside inform others left participant, this left participant is being sent. So okay, that's great. So on the front end side I will be getting this left participant, and I'm naming it exactly left participant because it makes sense, because I can even make it participant, but which participant? That does not make any sense. So coming back to this normal server process over here, this is the payload, and what am I getting in the payload? I'm getting left participant in the payload. What is gonna be the type of the left participant? Left participant, the type of is gonna be nothing but a participant. So participant, just like this. So this is done. And what do I have to do here? That's a good question. This message, I mean others are gonna be notified. So ultimately this message will reach to other users. And what do they need to do? They need to remove this particular user, the left participant that I've got. They have to remove it. So ultimately what they need to do, remove the left participant from the other participants array. So ultimately I'm maintaining a state. Which is that state? If I go to the front end side store meeting.ts, so over here I have other participants state, and this other participant contains all the other participants. And now if the user actually leaves, so I have to remove the user from the other user side. So what I have to do I have this set other participants. I have set other participants, but I don't have remove other participants. That's crazy. So let me check. I have set current participant, current user will be set host. They're exactly the same, aren't they? One more thing. mm, when I'm actually setting the host, so I'm gonna be returning host from here. Again, doesn't matter what you name, because this is just an argument over here, a parameter, so the name can be anything. But okay, I'm gonna be naming it host. The value is gonna be set like this. Set current participant, this will be set initially, so this thing is done as well. And then I have set other participants. So over here I'm gonna be getting other participants, and I'm gonna be setting them at once. And then I have add a new participant. That participant will be added to the other participants only, so this is also done. Now one thing, remove participant. I don't have that. I have removed joining participant, I have reset joining participant, I have set model open, all these things. But one more action I need to have, not here, somewhere just below that. And what is will this be? This will be a remove left participant. Okay, so over here what will I get? When removing the left participant, I just need the ID of the participant. I mean, that should be enough. That is in nothing but the string, just like this. So remove left participant, and now I have to just simply filter that. I mean, ultimately if I want to remove anything from an array, so I can just simply filter the value, right? And let me try to do it. So what will I do? Over here, of course, I'm gonna be setting it. So let me make it like this. Set. Again, I have written the same command over here, same code over here, but let me try to do it on my own. I mean, last time I did it on my own only. It's not like that I took the help of anything. State. What do we have to do? We have to remove from the other participants. So state, just like this, and then I'm gonna be returning other participants from here. And when returning the other participants from here, now this particular value, the whatever value I will have the array, it should contain everybody except the participant who left. So state dot other participants dot filter. How will I filter? So I will get the participant over here dot ID, not really like this. Oh, sorry, participant. I will explain it, don't worry. Participant dot ID, if that's not equals to the ID that I got. So what am I doing here? Pretty simple thing. Whose ID is this? Left user ID. So let me even make it like this. Left participant ID. Simple. So Control C, Control V. This is how it's gonna be going on. So I will be getting the ID of the left participant. Yeah. Once I got that, so what am I doing? I'm setting the state. Whatever value I return from here, that value gets set. So I'm returning what? I'm returning an object. And what does that object contain? That object contains the other participants. So this other participants will contain the new state. Yeah. So whatever new state this other participant contains, that same value will be set there automatically. Again, this all of this is handled by Zustand itself. The main job is I have to assign the new I have to remove the left participant from here, and that is why I'm just filtering it, and whatever value I assign here, the same value gets saved there. Okay, what am I doing? State dot other participants. Okay, I got all the participants which are there in the states. After that I'm filtering. And how am I filtering? Of course I will get the participant one by one, and I'm just simply saying participant ID. If the participant ID, all the participants that I'm getting one by one, if that's not equals to left participant, equals to the left participant ID, that will not be filtered. That simply means that will be removed. As simple as that. So this much we've done. And what do we have to do? Once this is ready, I even have to give it the type. So let me go to the actions. Inside the actions, just below this, I have added one more. This one, this gets left participant ID, and this is nothing but a string. It returns nothing, so let me make it wide. So this way I have even set the type. Once the type is set, coming back to this particular section, so this particular thing is done, right? So let me remove it. The most important thing is here. I got the left participant. From the left participant I will get the ID. So let me do one thing. First of all, again, I'm not inside a component, I'm inside a function. Inside a function you cannot use the hook. That simply means now I directly need to get the store, and from the store I will be getting the actions. So const use meeting, this is directly the store we are getting here. Once we got the store, after that we are going to get the state from the store. Once we got the state, what do we want? We want remove left participant, and once we have this, so const remove left participant is gonna be equals to this. Remove left participant is actually an action that simply means I can call it here. So remove left participant, and when calling it here, I will give it the left participant dot id. So once I give it, be removing that, and sort of this is done. Let me log the value here as well. I mean a log, that is clg event is gonna be what? Event is gonna be inform others about left participant, just like this. So this is just the log. Other users should be getting some kind. Oh, disconnected. Am I facing the network issue? No. So overall this should be fine. There is a to do here, and what is that to do? Whenever a participant leaves, and then others gets notified, and as soon as other gets notified over here, what will I do? Kind of render what is that? Toast. Render a toast like Vipendra left the meeting, just like this. Again, this name can be anything, so ultimately let's keep it like this. So the name can be anything. Ultimately we have to do this. Okay, again we are gonna be focusing on this as well, but there is one thing, I'm not able to check the state properly. Why? Because I'm not using DevTools. So let's even see how do we use DevTools. Because if I go here, if I go to this Redux, so it is not able to get the value, I mean check the DevTools at all, I mean check the state at all. So Redux should be able to check the state of my zoo stand store, and for that thing I will have to go to zoo stand, of course, and let's see how does it work with the what. Wow, this is great. Let's click on documentation, and once clicked on documentation, then where do I have to go? I think that should be hooks. That is not the hook. Then there should be middleware. Yeah, that is the middleware, and there should be DevTools. In order to use DevTools from zoo stand middleware, you need to install @redux devtool extension library. @devtools redux extension, and after that what? After that DevTools. Okay, is there any proper example? Hopefully there is. Yeah, this is the one. So this is how we will be going ahead, and at the end of the day we will be using DevTools. So ultimately I have to copy and paste everything, as simple as that. And once I have this DevTools, so hopefully debugging a slice pattern based DevTools, hopefully this will work. How about Redux? Next, Redux function. A Redux middleware lets you update a store through actions and reducers, just like Redux. Redux middleware lets you update a store through actions and reducers, just like Redux. Okay. Whatever, I don't know this, I don't need this, don't know, forget about don't know. Let's go with this. So first of all, what I have to do, I have to install this particular thing, @install DevTools extension library. So let me do it, and hopefully we are gonna be working it right. So what do we have to do first? The first job is on the front end side, stop it, ls bun add, and let's simply install that. Hopefully this is the right thing, and once that is done, then signature is gonna be somewhat looking like this. But what do we have to do at the end? If we want to use the functionality of DevTools, so we need to give it the type jungle store. Jungle store contains both, so that's fine. And after that we need to call it here. Once called it here, so whenever you call this, then you get another function. Inside this function you will provide it all. Okay, got it. So what we are doing here, let's go to the store now. not the store of the backend, rather the store of this. And again, this thing I have to do every time. Oh, that's crazy. But okay, never mind. So what are we doing here? We have create, yeah. After that, what we are doing? Once we have create, we are just simply calling it here. Okay. So this calling thing. Okay, I called it here. After that, what? After that, I have another kind of. Yeah, that's okay. I do have that. And then dev tools. So I'm calling this set, but this set needs to be wrapped inside dev tools. So the whole set that I have, pink color, this pink color, let me cut it from here. And what do I have to do? I have to wrap everything inside dev tools, and dev tools needs to be installed from Zwist and middleware. So dev tools needs to be imported from middleware. Then what do I have to do next? Next अरे भाई किधर गया? This is the section, right? Then give it the whole setup. Okay, this much I've done. What is the problem here now? The problem, undefined is not assignable to participant or null. Undefined is not assignable to participant or null. Is this right now? Wow. What did I do? I just clicked Control Z. Okay, there may be some error. So ultimately this is right. I'm calling create this, then it returns me a method. Then inside that method I'm providing dev tools. Dev tools gets set. Ultimately I'm just simply copying and pasting everything, nothing else. And once I've done this much, then I will be restarting it. Let's see. So bun dev will start the backend. Bun dev will start the front end. And if I'm not wrong, I should be getting the state on the front end side, but let's see. Reload it. Okay, here we are. Let's click on Redux. Oh yeah, what we are getting? Set current participant, set host, set it. Am I missing something? Let's click on this. So this is the one that I'm getting. So ultimately, what do we have here? We are getting the state of the meeting. That's amazing job. Inside that we have current participant. And what are those current participants? And I did nothing. I just simply copied and pasted the things. You can know more about how it works and all. But for now, I just simply, I mean, it is not like I don't understand it at all. I did try to use it sometime. So it is returning what? When you call create and when you call this particular method, so it returns you another method, another function. That function takes dev tools, and inside dev tools you provide this. So ultimately, if you want to use dev tools, you need to have a function that is written by this create one. So you just simply call that. Once that is called, it returns another function that is called, and that takes parameter of dev tools, and that dev tools contains everything else. So this is how it goes, how it works in the background, behind the scene. You can know more about it, but overall understanding, okay, this takes this and this is how this works, that's more than enough for now at least. By the way, the current participant has the ID, username, the profile, meeting ID, and his host is true because the current participant is no doubt is host right now. That's great. Let me try to do one thing. Let me make another participant join the meeting. So let me keep it here, and let me, why am I not able to, okay, this is fine. And what am I gonna do now here? I'm gonna be simply copying it, I'm gonna be simply pasting it just like this. So another participant joined, and when the another participant joined, so I'm gonna be just clicking on F12. I don't have Redux here, or do I do have that. So if I check this thing out right now, so I have the current participant, and the current participant is false, so is host is false, so this participant is not the host, even if I allow from here. So I can click on this, I can allow from here. Once allowed, they are in the same meeting, and once they are in the same meeting, now this particular participant is the host, this particular participant is not the host. So ultimately things are working quite well. Okay, what is the next thing that I can do? The next thing is that as soon as a user leaves, by the way, here in the other participant section, I even got the user. Amazing job. It is working the right way, the way we want to work. So as soon as I accepted that, so I got a user, and that user is not a host, and that became the part of other participants. That's amazing. And here this new user got notified about the host, so whatever participant I have inside that is nothing but the host. If this user leaves the room, that simply means reloading the page. So okay, did you see that? Again joining participant, but ultimately the other participant became empty. That simply means a user left the room, and then there is another participant that is trying to join the room. So joining participant is this, that is trying to join the room, and I will actually have to allow, then that participant will join the room. And this is the participant that is actually trying to join the room. Coming back to this, if I actually allow from here, let me allow all. And one more thing, as soon as I click allow all, so over here I don't have, just a minute, current participant, joining participant, here I don't have the value of other participants. So if you have a look at this, so there are no other participants. But if I, as soon as I click allow, this joining participant will become null, because that person will have joined by then, because right now I do have the value of this joining participant. That simply means this participant is want to join the meeting, but as soon as I click on allow, what happened, this joining participants became empty, and this other participants got the value of that particular participant, because that has joined. And not only that, that new participant who joined the meeting, that participant itself got informed about the host, so that it got the information about the other users got the information about this user, and this way things are working. Isn't it great? Okay, so honestly we have implemented this thing really well. Okay, so that simply means whenever a user leaves, now I have to do what? Whenever a user leaves, I have to notify the user. Notify in the sense, I have to inform others that this particular participant has left. Right now it is just happening in the background, so I have to just do it. And when do I have to do it? Over here. So close this. Thankfully it is working such in a great way. I never expected it to work in the first go. I thought I would get the errors and all, then I will have to fix them. But okay, it is working. Here, whenever a user leaves, at that time what do we have to do? Whenever a user leaves, at that time we have to inform everybody that a user left. So let me do one thing. Remove left participant. This is how it's gonna be going ahead. And apart from this particular thing, I'm gonna be storing this left participant as well. Why? Because using that left participant info, I will be able to inform others. Yeah, that's right. And that's gonna be just the object. So that object will contain the last participant who left. It will not contain all the participants. It will just simply contain the value of the last participant who left the meeting, and that's it. So let me be back here inside meeting, and it is just all about the need. If I think I need something, I'm just simply gonna be adding. So I have joining participant. Similarly, I will have one more, and that's gonna be left participant. This is nothing but an object, first of all, this thing. And once I need to set it here, mainly because when I'm informing others, at that time I have to tell them that this particular participant left the meeting. So because of that thing, I can only show the name when I have the name here saved in my state, and that is why I'm just simply saving it here. So left participant is gonna be this, and set left participant. So remove left participant, and there is one more, that is set left participant, and I'm gonna be getting left participant over here. That's gonna be nothing but a participant type, and after that I'm gonna be setting the value, not set status bar, I'm gonna be setting the value. When it comes to setting the value, so it's gonna be pretty simple. Left participant is gonna be equals to what? Left participant is gonna be equals to the left participant. So what is the problem? That is fine. Again, over here, what is the issue? Setter left participant, I'm getting it here, so I should be able to do that. Object return may only specify known properties, and left participant does not exist in type state. It is just simply saying that you don't have the type of this. How can you set this? So let me do one thing. Let me go to the state, and over state here, just below this, I will be having left participant. That will be participant. That's gonna be type of participant. That's gonna be just simply a normal object. And here below remove left participant I will be adding set left participant, and I will be getting left participant, and that's gonna be type of participant, and at the end of the day that will be returning nothing. So this is how it's gonna be going on. So first of all I'm removing the participant from the others users, and then I'm setting the participant as well. Or I can do one thing, whenever I'm removing the left participant, it's okay, doing it separately does make more sense, because at that time I know that first of all I'm removing it, and the second time I'm setting it because I need to have the info. That simple as that. So I can do it in one action as well, but then that will not make more sense. That is why. Okay, so first of all I remove left participant. I remove the left participant. After that I'm gonna be setting the value. So const set left. So let me do one thing, use meeting dot get state dot set. Oh, don't I have that? Use meeting dot get state dot set left participant. I have that. Const left set left participant. That's gonna be like this. So I got this particular action. Once I got this action, then what will I be doing here? Pretty simple. Set left participant, that will contain the value of what? Left participant. Just like this. Let's simply get rid of this. Now I have to show the toast. Okay, whenever I have the value inside this left participant, so whenever I have this value inside my mobile, right? So whenever I, coming back to the main point, I was just simply saying, whenever I have the value of this left participant, or the value of this left participant changes, at that time I have to monitor that, and as soon as the value changes, I have to just simply show a what? Toast. Okay, so now time to go back to the main file. Close everything. Time to go back to the main file, in the sense, in both the cases actually. Both the cases in the sense, whenever I mean, do we actually need to do it? Because if a participant is actually leaving the room, then okay, it's better to simply show the toast. Let me do that. App meeting ID paints.tsx, and what do I need to just listen to over here? This is the first use effect that I have. I need to create another use effect. What will that use effect do? So use effect, just like this, it will be dependent on the value of the left participant. Okay, this is just normal one. How will I get the left participant? So set active panel, const left participant, just like this. Use meeting. From here I will be getting the state dot left participant. I'm getting it like this. Whenever the value of this left participant changes, at that time I want this use effect to run, and whenever this particular use effect is running, at that time what I have to do, I think I can do it directly in the sense, the value changed, and as soon as the value changed, it will be re-rendered, and as soon as it is re-rendered, I have to just simply show that. Okay, better to use effect here. And what is the next thing? If I have the left participant, in that case I'm gonna be using toaster. Okay, it's time to use toaster. So for using toaster, I need to where is the main page? Layout, right? So this is the main layout. Inside this I'm already using tooltip provided, but I'm not using toaster. How to use toaster? Shared cn. So let me go to shared cn, just like this. Okay, toast. I think this is the one. And it is saying the toaster component has been deprecated. Use the sonar component instead. This is the first way. And the second thing is that we are actually using daisy UI as well. So I can use sonar component. That is not really a big problem. But let me go to the Daisy UI, because Daisy UI does provide a component called toast, and we will try to use both of them at different places. Toaster. So okay, these types of Daisy toasters we get here, and that is interesting. Yeah. Oh, but two types. I don't get red. I can get red. Okay, but the thing is that where do you want to just simply show them? New message arrived. On the top, on the left, this. Message arrived, message sent. Aren't they exactly the same? Toast and default, toast bottom default. Let me go to the top, and this is the one that I will be having. Let me click on JSX, and it looks like this. And as I'm already using the GUI, so I'm gonna be going with this, and then I will have to render it conditionally. Rendering it conditionally in the sense this will be on the left side. This is nothing but an element that will be on the left side. But apart from that particular thing, apart from that particular thing, I will have to just simply render it conditionally whenever the value changes. So what I want to just have it directly. So it's better to just simply use this Sonar component. So component Sonar. What do I have to do for this? For this, let's simply click on the code. You need to install Toast, but before even that, you have to wrap everything with the toaster, and this is how it's gonna be going ahead. So first thing is that you have to have toaster in the layout. So let me go there. Inside this, over here, I'm gonna be having toaster. So toaster will be coming from Sonar. Once I have the toaster, the next thing is that you have to import toast, and that is it. So let me do that. So coming back to this, now in here, toast, from where do I need to import? Sonar, right? So let me try to import it from Sonar. Over here, import toast from, okay, turns out I don't have Sonar here. Amazing. That simply means I will have to import Sonar, install Sonar. So that's gonna be using bun. So bunx bun add Sonar. Where do I have to install this? I have to install it inside what? I should have that, yeah. Come on. It should be not from Sonar actually. It should be at the rate repo slash UI slash component slash Sonar. Yeah, here I have. And this toast. I don't have this toast here. Let me go here. What is this exporting? It is exporting toaster. That is fine. But apart from toaster, what is the problem here? Toaster instantly has any okay, that's not really a big problem. Do I have Sonar here? Sonar. I do have it here. I have it here, but I don't have there. That is the main problem. So I will have to install Sonar there as well, and then I have to get the toast from there. So the main problem is not that. The main problem is that you don't have Sonar. So adding Sonar is not an issue. Installing the package is the issue. So npm shared cn at the latest Sonar, add Sonar. Let me do one thing. Oh yeah, this is bad. Copy it. Again, I don't know why, but I'm getting these extra letters at the beginning. What the hell? That simply means there is something wrong. So let me copy only this much, Control C, and coming back to, why am I getting this over and over? What is the issue? This particular section, Control Shift V. Now it is fine. Let's simply add it here, and it's gonna be added. Once it is added, I just hope that I will not get the component inside web @workspace. So what the hell, bro? I don't want this. You don't get it. Do I have Sonar here installed? I just wanted Sonar package. App package.json, inside package.json. Sonar, yeah, I do have Sonar here. Once I just want Sonar, nothing else. I don't even want the components because I have the components. So what will I do now? Coming back to this particular section, toast. I just need to import toast from Sonar, and toast dot what warning. I think this should be some kind of warning, and that is user left. Again, I need to have the left user, so I can say like this left user dot, literally, are you kidding me? Left participant dot username left the meeting, just like this. Let's see. Time to check this thing. This way. Oh, let me adjust them properly. Okay, now they are adjusted, just like this. I'll have to start, and again I'll have to start both of them separately. So that's first one is gonna be one dev simple command, same this one as well, one dev simple command. Both of them are running right now. Let me reload this. That is already reloaded. So ultimately, of course, I have to go to /meeting/1234, and yeah, this is fine. Who is the host here? You are not the host, so ultimately then the another user is the host. So ultimately from here I can allow, both of them are allowed, both of them are in the same meeting. Now if I close this, username left the meeting because username is the username. We are getting the toast, and that is really good, but there is a problem. The problem is that that was a warning, and it doesn't seem to be like a warning. So what can I do? Where did I have that? Yeah, this one, right? This warning doesn't seem to be like a warning, so I can go to the docs here, and in this particular section, how do I want to render that? Warning looks like this. Bad. Let me turn the light mode on for a while. So warning looks like this, info looks like this. So the color is the same, yaar. I don't want them to have the same color. So what I want to have some colors in the toast, and it turns out that it's not gonna have any color. Such a bad thing this is. Never mind, hopefully I will be able to just simply give them some color, and it turns out yes. Let me go to toast, toast Sonar npm. I think I can customize it. It must be customizable. So on click toast npm install Sonar. Anything else? Documentation. Sonar has its own website. Wow. I mean, all the packages, they have their own websites and all. So coming back to this Sonar, how do I want to customize this? Toast, this kind of toast, this kind of toast. I want to change the color. Loading action cancel promise loading custom headerless success styling. Yeah, well, that's bad, but not that bad either. So what can I do? Toast style background red. So inside toaster, if I just go and have, then that's bad, yeah. Toast options, style, then I will be able to use the style. Wow, amazing. So I want to have two things, green and red. So let me toast options, and toast options will contain this style background red and green. Let me do that. So what do I have to do? I have to go to the layout.tsx where I actually had a toast, layout.tsx. Over here I have the toast. What I want to do, style, nope, toast options, and it will have what? It will have style, inside style, background, color, not background clip, background color, this one. And first of all it will have red, and one more color, background. Hi, can't it have more than one color? I mean only one I can specify here. Background style, that is just nothing but a property, so I can name it warning. What is the issue? Non properties. Toast options, toast title, description button, class names, and icon success. Okay, it doesn't, I don't think I can have it directly. Icon success now. It does have styling, but it doesn't have that much styling. I mean, yeah. Then there is only one way. I'm gonna be using my on. This is how it looks like. This is a headless toast. Other. So ultimately, if I go to the stylish section, and over here I can just simply add the stylish style directly, background this. So how about making it like this? The background can be an array, can contain red, can contain green. Will it work? Never. String here, this is not assignable to background string or number. So ultimately it can take only one value. So let me remove this toast options from here. Coming back to this page.tsx, inside this I have this toast.warning. So let me cut it first of all from here. Cut. Let me, what do I have to do? Toast, and then I have to have the message. So let's simply have the message, and just after that I'm gonna be having what? I'm gonna be having some extra data. So style, and style will have background, and background will be red. Will it be fine? Again, this is something I have to check. This is done, and this is done. Let me reload the page. First of all I have to start it. How long has it been? I have no idea, but never mind. Bun add bun dev, it will be started. Coming back to this particular section, let me reload the page. Once this is from here, paste it over here. Let's simply enter, and of course I have to allow from which side. I'm not getting the option to allow anywhere. This is insane, because I didn't restart the server, I think, but still that should be fine, but never mind, let's see. So coming back to this, I'm not getting the option anywhere. Reload the page, reload this page too. Okay, now I'm getting the option. So by clicking on this I can just simply allow. Once allowed, I'm not getting any toast message, so that is the problem. So let me do one thing. Let me go ahead with the normal toast dot warning, and then I will have this normal message here. Toast dot warning, and then the normal message. For now this is gonna be enough, and apart from this particular thing, I think I need to have this over here. Once this is done, reload the page, reload this page too, come back to this one, come back to this one. Not getting this. Whenever the user leaves, the user should not be in the backend anymore, and if that is so, connection established successfully. This is the same meeting, and if I'm inside the same meeting, let me do one thing. 1 2 3 4 6, this is the new meeting, and 1 2 3 4 6, the user tries to join that meeting, then I'm gonna be getting allow request here, and as soon as I allow, that's okay. If the user leaves, nothing happened here. Okay, turns out I actually have to fix many things. Never mind. Okay, once both of them are started, coming back to this particular section, reload the page. Once the page is actually reloaded, copy it from here, paste it over here, allow it. I have to reload it or what? The user disconnects and connects again, but at the end of the day, the first user does not get the join request. 1 2 3 4 6, the rooms are the same, so the user actually tries to join that room. Then what is the problem? Okay, in that case, what can I do? I can restart the server. This is the only thing that I can do. Even I don't know the bug exactly what kind of issue I'm facing right now, but never mind, we'll fix it. Reload it, reload this too. Now I got it here, and if I click on allow, that is allowed. If this user leaves the room or reloads the page, then user left the meeting. This is the what message we are getting, warning message we are getting, and for now this is fine. Okay, but the another thing is that I can allow from here again, and if the user leaves, I will be getting that again. And now I can just allow or I can deny, and this is how it's happening. And if I reload this particular page, so okay, we did not do one thing. What is that? If there is there's nobody in the room here, whenever somebody leaves, so at that time, this ultimately I need to go to the backend side, server.ts. This close event gets triggered whenever somebody leaves, but the thing is that if there is nobody in the meeting, so at the end, once this for loop just ran, and not even at the end actually, the meeting, and I'm gonna be informing each other, but even before that, I removed the participant from the array. That's great. Now if there is only one person or the participant got removed, that is really good. Here I have to check one more thing, and what is that? I already have my meeting, and meeting.participants, if that is already equals to 0, in that case I have to delete that meeting itself. Delete the or I can say end the meeting. Okay, and what is the condition? The condition is if meeting dot participant dot length, that's triple equals to 0, that means there are no participants, even that one has been removed. In that case, I'm gonna be deleting the meeting. Deleting the meeting in the sense, I already have the meeting ID, so delete meeting ID, just like this. So ultimately that particular meeting will be deleted from the meeting ID, and once that is done, I'm already inside, I'm gonna be breaking the loop. So this way meeting is going to be removed, and hopefully I will not face the same issue again. Let me try it. Disconnected. Network issue. I hope I'm not facing the network issue now anymore. Okay, that's fine. It's just been 2 hours. Can you get the idea? I still have to work for 3 hours on this project. You have no idea how far I'm gonna be going at it here today. Oh, just 2 hours. Literally. Never mind. Let's simply keep working on this. So this much is done. And if I just reload this page, then what will happen? This particular user will become the host. And if what is happening? This user became the host, right? Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not changing the state as well. Redux, and current participant is host is actually false. That simply means this participant is not becoming the host for some reason. If this participant actually leaves the room completely, the value of his participant is actually that. So for some reason, when I'm actually informing others, that is not working. So this thing I have to fix, and remaining things are fine. Okay, so this is how it's gonna be going on. For now, I'm gonna be taking a break for some time. Actually, okay, I'm gonna be back, and then I'll sit here again for 2 hours and then get the remaining things done. Let's simply take a quick break. Quick break in the sense after around 10 minutes or something, I'm gonna be back, and then we'll continue from here on. As for this project, it will keep going on. Hopefully, what is the remaining thing? First of all, let me add this to do over here. The to do is somewhere here. Correct the logic of assigning a new post. So this particular feature is not working. Of course, the problem is in the logic itself, so I have to figure it out, and once it is done, then toast when a user joins the room for this, and leave room logic, and start working on peer connections. So ultimately, this is how the things are gonna be going on. So these are the to dos. After coming back, after the break, we will start working on these things, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. As for right now, bye bye, take care, and see you.